What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jonesy Brooklyn. Hope everybody had a great May. I'm back with the end of the month gardening update. Made some changes to the garden, did some cool stuff with it, and now it's just ready to show you guys. Thanks to everybody who viewed my last garden video, my first one on YouTube. Everyone who commented, and everyone who left a like. Please do like and subscribe. It really does help me out with my confidence, help me out with a lot of things with this. Okay, thank you for watching, but for right now, let's get into it. So before we get into what's in the raised bed, let's begin with what we got in the pots. Now what you see right here in front of you is a pot of parsley, and it was a lot smaller last time, but as you can see, it got a lot bigger. We already clipped some down maybe about 2 weeks ago, and it grew right back. I feel like we're gonna have parsley for months with this one. But we had actually tastes good and smells good. So yeah, this is actually doing this thing. Take a look at this. I may have to clip some back just to, chill with the growth, but yeah. Moving over here, we've got one of my citrus trees. As you can see, it is starting to sprout flowers over here, and in some spaces, it's starting to sprout fruit. Now, one of our biggest issues with this was the issue with some animals. They did come and they ravaged the other fruit plant. They literally came and ate a little bit of it, as you can see here. But we did get a deterrent to stop them from, destroying the plant. So we're hopeful that it will, eventually get better. This one will get better, and the other one is going to start producing some more fruit. Moving over to my second parsley plant, I'd put a stick up on this one because I was leaning to the side. But as you can see, just like with the other one, we got plenty of parsley. So much. Over to my peppers. This is the habanero plant from last time. It was starting to grow before, but again, issues with animals. And now that we have something to deter it with, it is starting to actually look a lot healthier and getting a lot bigger. I've been taking care of it, everything a little bit differently nowadays. Adding some eggshell, like ground up eggshells to the soil, as well as using regular plant food, and the constant watering from the rain the last couple of days has also really helped. So this one is actually looking a lot better than it did last time, and I'm hopeful that it will be growing a lot bigger. Moving over to my mammoth jalapenos. It has gotten a lot bigger. Leaves are starting to grow. The plant itself is starting to get bigger. And with the heat, combined with the heat, how it's been lately down here in Georgia, with it being in the 80s and such, it will actually start producing flowers and more peppers later on this summer. So I'm looking forward to that. If you look deep in here, zoom in a little bit, you can see it actually starting to bud and produce. So I'm very excited that I'll be getting something soon. Moving over to my Mexi bell peppers, aka spicy bell peppers. This one has grown a lot with the leaves, as you can see. Special thanks to the rain we've been getting. And looking deep inside, you can see something starting up there too, in several places. So we will be getting some fruit very soon from this one, or no, peppers. Right here is my regular mint. Again, we cut down a bunch of mint earlier in the month because it was starting to overgrow and get bigger, and it is growing back really, really fast. So yeah, I'm excited for more mint, which means opportunities with mint, including, you know, mojitos once I learn how to make them. Over here real quick is my curry plant. It has gotten bigger, especially thanks to the rain, and oh my goodness, it smells so good. Like I think I mentioned before, this isn't like a curry tree. You can cut these up and cook with these, but it's not like a curry tree, like or bigger curry plant like you use for like other curry things. But this would definitely do the trick, and it actually really does smell so good. Moving over to my blueberry plant, and I mentioned I was growing blueberries, and so I have 2 blueberry plants. This one is the older one, while that one we just planted in the ground earlier in the year. And I learned something about blueberries, that they take a couple of years to really produce. The first year the tree is getting settled. The second year, you know, it starts to do a little bit better, and then the third year is when you get fruit. Now this one has been here for a while, and it is giving us these berries so far. It hasn't changed color as of yet, but it is showing that it is producing. So this one is going to take some time, but we are absolutely hopeful for it. You can see some stuff here on the ends. But nothing that's going to really equate to fruit, or maybe I'm wrong, and it'll probably grow maybe a little bit later on in the season. But right now we're anticipating it more than likely growing again later on. If not this year, then they're probably going to get, more likely going to get something next year. Now I know this doesn't look too appealing, but these are red onions, and I think they actually might be ready to pop out soon. I've had them in here since maybe the middle of March or so, maybe even earlier than that, but they've been here for a while, and I think they might actually, and they've grown up to these stalks, so these actually might be ready to pop up any moment now. I have to check them out just to see. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, let the check to see how long I'm supposed to keep them in here, but I think these actually might be ready. And moving over here, these are our yellow onions, and these also I have to take a look to see if they're ready. You can see the stalks inside them dying out, so they may be ready to pop up any second now. And so I will definitely keep up to date on that one, because I'm ready to see how these look. Over in this pot right here is our eggplant. Well, one of our eggplants actually. I'll show you the other one in a few. Now if you take a look on the inside, you can see that it's starting to bud up into flowers. Now from what I remember doing eggplant last year, once they start budding up into flowers, that means fruit's going to come soon. Let's pull you around to the side here. See that nice white and yellow flower there? And you can, which means I will be getting something very soon from this. I'm excited to see it. Moving over here is our garlic, turmeric, and ginger plant. Now it's taking its time. We may have to take a look to see what's going on with this one, figure out why it hasn't produced like we hope it would. But we'll see about this one. This also may take some time. Maybe need to replant them or redo them accordingly how it's supposed to go, but we'll see about that one soon. Looking over here, these are our potatoes, and I know what you're saying, these don't look like potatoes, but hear me out. The potato plant is supposed to grow a lot of branches and leaves before they're ready, and they're also supposed to produce flowers. And I'm not, even though I'm not seeing any flowers, I am seeing different colors on the leaves. Some of these are like your traditional yellow potatoes in there, and some of them are also your purple potatoes. We have to think about purple here, but yeah. So now that what's supposed to happen is that they're supposed to grow flowers, and when they start dying out, that means the potatoes are ready. So I'm anticipating seeing them very soon. It has sprouted out and branched out. There's been plenty of rain, plenty of water, so this has gotten big. We actually had to put a stick right there in the middle to keep the branches up. Well, 2 sticks, because they were leaning out into the air all over the place. So once these start dying out, we'll know that the potatoes are ready, and then we'll pick them up. I'm excited to see those. Moving over here, this is our rosemary, and we did the same thing with with everything else a couple of days ago. Well, weeks ago, we clipped them, and it's starting to grow back even faster. And again, these smell really amazing too. I got rosemary for a long time with this as well. Over here on this side is our cherry plant. It's a lot less bigger than it was before because I did trim down the leaves. And a lot of new growth came in really fast. It hasn't produced any cherries for us as of yet. I need to find out why it's not doing it. I did read something on it, but even if I go a little bit deeper in, it's not showing me anything on where the cherries are produced. So that's going to take some time a little bit, but I'm hopeful. Moving over to my strawberry plant. Now, we had so many strawberries last time. Well, not so many, but a good amount. But they haven't been able to produce anything as of yet. Anything else as of yet. From what I learned, strawberries produce a lot in June. So we're anticipating seeing that. And as you can see on the inside, there are a lot of flowers popping up there too. So there is some growth, and we are going to get something. And looking down at the runners, they're also trying to produce stuff as well. So I am absolutely hopeful that I'll be getting more strawberries. Down here are our chives, and I absolutely love the chives. They smell good, they taste good. I've been using them in so many different things with cooking, from eggs to like other dishes, non-egg dishes. But the more I cut them down, the more they pop up, and the more they pop back up, the more we use them. And over here, finishing off the pots, is our apple mint. And just like everything else, we cut these down, and they popped back up really fast. Now, the apple mint actually really smells good and tastes good. I actually cut off a leaf and ate a leaf, and it's amazing. I definitely wish you could smell this one. This is amazing. Again, mint for days. And we do have mints in pots because it is an invasive plant, and it will spread out and grow all over the place. So we do have to be careful with the mint when we're growing it. But either way, it looks good and it smells good, and this has been fun to grow and easy to grow. Moving over here to one of the sides is our peas. Now, I'm a little bit worried about this one. You can see some of these are growing peas. You can see the little pods coming up and everything. But the downside is, one, it's not enough for 5 people who live in the house, and these are dying out pretty quickly. See at the bottom, it doesn't look healthy, it doesn't look good. I'm still hopeful that maybe I can actually, and probably have to replant. This is the first year I'm growing sugar snap peas. As sad as I am that it may not produce as much as I want, this is a learning experience for me, and I'll take those notes and figure it out next year or next time. I'm actually excited for this. It might be the weather this might be something that you can only grow, you know, maybe wintertime or something like that. I gotta look more into it. But as you can see, it did produce peas. It did give us something. So I'm calling, while it may look like a failure, I'm calling it a success. Downside is on this side, the one that had peas is not really producing much. We only had one vine that went all the way up, which is sad, but again, this is trial and error. I'm taking notes, figuring out for next time how to get better. I'm not mad. Now moving over here, this is our watermelon and honeydew melon plants. Now I want you to take a look real quick and check these out. Now the vines got big. And when I mean big, they got big. Look at it, they're almost at the top of this trellis here. And it got so big I had to clip them to stop them from growing, or they were going to grow over to the other side. So what I did a couple of weeks ago was I cleaned up the bottom. I cleaned up from the bottom to try to influence more growth. And as you can see, it grew more. But today I clipped off the tops of them to stop the growth and try to influence more energy going towards the flowers, and going towards the flowers meaning producing some fruit. Now I'm gonna move a little bit closer and I want to show you a couple of things, because a couple of these have some fruit. You can see the flowers coming in. On this side you can see something trying to happen. Moving all the way down, this is the honeydew. You can see it cleaned up and starting to produce a little bit. While on this side, this is one of the watermelons here. You can see the flowers going all the way up. And right there in the middle, trying to produce something there. Another watermelon vine here. See, going up and down the vine. This is another honeydew here. This one we had a little bit of trouble with, but it is starting to grow and shoot up. Shout out to the rain we had. We had so much rain. The rain is actually doing more wonders than the actual water that we water it with, combined with the food that we feed it with. So it is starting to grow. So I'm excited for this side. Moving over to the other side, in which I did the exact same thing, clipping down at the bottom, and you can see the vine starting to grow out and up. And if you look here, you can see a little baby watermelon attempting to grow, but not just there, over there as well, and up there. So I'm excited for this. Looking up and down the vine, see where I cleaned it at. And this side is all watermelon, and it is actually starting to produce some fruit. See, there's another one right there. So each vine is starting to give me something. And I clip the tops of these too to try to prevent them from getting any longer. And take a look up top, even a little bit higher. You can see up there is trying to do something. So I may actually be producing another video with these soon, just so you let you know if anything has come out of it. Now finally I'm going to talk about the raised bed. Now just to let you know, we did make some changes on the raised bed because some stuff actually ended up dying or being eaten by animals, and we had to make some changes. And because we had to make those changes, we were able to move some stuff around and get them to be able to grow, give them a little bit more space to grow. So without further ado, starting on this side, we were trying to grow originally lettuce, but that didn't really pan out. So we moved some of the pepper plants that we had over in the big bed with a bunch of peppers, and we just gave them its own space so they can grow on their own. And as you can see, they are starting to get a lot bigger, and with the heat we're going to get, and actually is going to help out growing the peppers. But now they have their own space, so they can grow easily and fruitfully as they like in this section. Moving over here, as you see with the crates, what we've got here are some tomatoes, and they are starting to grow up and get bigger, even outgrow their cages. I recently had to added a couple of new cages to it, but as you can see, they are getting taller. They're supposed to be a certain height, especially this one over here, which is probably the biggest tomato plant I have in my garden right now. Even starting to produce some flowers. Which looks like also the parts that the tomatoes come from. So I'm expecting to get something from that in the near future. I'm excited to see those. Down here is my cilantro, and I know it doesn't look appealing, but we cut a bunch back. We have a lot of cilantro in the house, and it's starting to grow back a little by little. Technically, cilantro is kind of a winter plant, but it is doing pretty good right now. We will regrow this. We always regrow this, so I'm excited to see these again. Really quick, down here are black-eyed pea plants. As you can see, we had to add a trellis to a vine because they're starting to get bigger and maybe starting to produce very soon. I read that somewhere that the summer is when they produce the most. So I'm excited to see how these pan out. Over in this section is where we used to have the broccoli and the cauliflower. Unfortunately, they were being ravaged by animals, and I think they were probably not like squirrels and rabbits and such. So what we did is that we moved some of the tomato plants that we had in another area so they can get their own space, so they can grow and prosper on their own. And as you can see, I think we made the right decision because they are getting a lot bigger. Some are a little tiny right now, and I had to stick to one of them because they were getting a little bit stretched out to the other side, but it is starting to produce. It is starting to get bigger, and anticipating some production soon. Moving over to this side with a couple more tomatoes. You can see this one is getting a lot bigger, starting to outgrow his cage. So no flowers on these yet, but soon. I anticipate very soon we'll be getting flowers on them and the beginning of tomatoes. And I can't wait to show you guys those. Moving over here to my cucumbers. Now you can see the cucumber plant is growing and getting bigger and starting to produce flowers. When it starts to produce flowers, that means cucumbers are coming. And I want to show you a couple of things. Take a look at that flower right there at the very top. It's going to give me something. If I go a little bit in, you can see that it is starting to produce. That's a tiny one right there. That's not nada. That's actually pretty cool though. But let's go a little bit in, a little bit deeper. You can see flowers starting to blooming all over the place. And this right here, little tiny cucumbers starting to grow. And I remember when I did these last year, this is exactly the same way it happened. the yellow flowers, growing tips that produce the cucumbers. So I am definitely excited to see these come out soon. Look over there on the other side, and you can see a little tiny cucumber right there getting ready to produce. I'm excited to see how these will look. Now coming over here, oh, I need to show you this. This is our squash plant right here in the middle. Nice big squash plant, giving off a lot of leaves. But not just that. Take a look at this. We've got a squash growing in already. Actually, not just one, but 2, 3, and there are a couple of more all around the base of this plant. And even some at the bottom. The squash we grew last year didn't do this fast. But this is amazing to see how I'm getting a lot more growing in. There's another one right there. And I didn't anticipate my squash plant being one of the ones that would give me something real fast, but it is giving me something pretty fast. I can't wait to see how big they get. Moving over here is another eggplant right here. And this is starting to grow and get bigger. Not producing any flowers yet. But this one's a little bit of a late bloomer anyway. But it will be starting to grow something soon. Moving right along over here to my other butternut squash plant, and you can see different beginning at the bottom, but definitely give me some squash here, a squash here, and some squash at the bottom as well. I didn't, like I said before, I didn't anticipate the squash being one of my high producers, but I'm excited for it. This is going to be fun to see. Looking at this little group right here in front, is my sweet basil. And these start to grow up pretty fast. Got a little tiny one right there, but that's okay. But now I've got a bunch of basil already. Last year, basil was one of my high producers as well. Made all our food smell good and taste good. Let's move around, and you see the other bell pepper section. And there are different varieties of bell peppers in here. And we actually moved some of those around, including over here. And at the other side that I showed you before, just to get some extra space, because it was crowded and we were worried that the overcrowding might do something. So we just wanted to give them extra space so they can grow nicely and grow properly. You see over here, we actually cleared out some space because we had some mustard greens plants and another greens plants that we clipped off, and thankfully we clipped them off before the animals got to them, because they did, and they went wild and ate that plant up, and the other one too. So we actually just cleared that out, moved the peppers over here, and now we're starting to see them get a lot bigger. And soon, maybe not right away, maybe later on in the year, well, definitely during the summer, we're going to start seeing some bell peppers. And it's a good thing, because the heat is what we would needed. So they're definitely going to start producing soon. And this one over here, which fell down, is the orange blaze bell pepper. It's not looking too good, but it looks a little bit more deceiving. It actually looks a lot better than it did before. Moving it from the pot over to the raised bed is actually doing wonders for it. I'm gonna have to put it back It was standing up, but I think the heat kind of just made it go blah. Yeah, I'll put this around it. Like so. But then it's not really helping. There we go. So we're anticipating it'll stand on its own soon once it is getting stronger, thankfully. So, we'll get something from this pretty soon in the near future. And that's it for this month's garden video update. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I know these are pretty long, but trust me, they're awesome and they're worth it. I know these are supposed to be monthly, but at the rate things are growing in the garden, it might be a little bit more than monthly. Yeah, so I'll definitely keep updating on my socials, updating here on YouTube, and just let you know the progress. Just so you can take a look, see, and let me know if there's any questions. Let me know what you think, any comments, any criticisms. This is fun for me. I love this. This is actually been something that I never thought I would enjoy doing, but I enjoy it a lot. I'm out here almost every day just viewing and taking a look at things, just making sure everything's okay. Alright, but that is it for this month. This is the end of May update, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out again. Please like, subscribe, give me a follow. Every little bit helps. Every so much, builds up my confidence with this YouTube thing. All right, but until next time, everybody take care of yourselves. Hope you had a great May. Hope you have a great June. See you then.